Hey, SallyBC here, and today I'm doing a video on Studio Series 8604 Voyager Hotrod. So here he is in his sweet red sports car from the movie. First off, he's not really the correct colour. But does that bother me? No, it's not that big of a deal. Come on, dude. There's this flame at the front with an Autobot symbol. The shape isn't exactly on point, but it's close enough.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the... No.
I can't ever seem to get the sides flush, and that was even before it broke. A few months after getting this guy, both of the tiny tabs used to connect the sides into place snapped off. Probably since they're translucent plastic. Damn it, Hasbro, stop using this plastic! In most circumstances, it adds nothing. Some of the accessories can be stored in alt mode. The guns can be plugged into the buzzsaw, and then on the engine or the roof. I'm absolutely not doing it because it feels like they'll get stuck and break off if I do. So here's an image I found online. I could probably scrape some of the paint off and they'd work fine, but I really shouldn't have to. The exhausts are also painted in the same silver paint, but fortunately it doesn't negatively affect them at all. Coming to the back of the vehicle, there is this awesome huge spoiler. Damn, I was looking forward to watching that, now it's ruined. Get it? It's a movie spoiling joke. What on earth was that laugh? At the back of the vehicle mode, you can see very clear robot joints. It's a shame, but you won't see them most of the time. Speaking of a part you won't see most of the time, the underneath. It's not awful, but it's not super clean either. These are obvious legs, and the hands are very clear. But the worst part of the undercarriage is the faux chest. I don't dislike faux parts, and figures do often benefit from having them. What? Were you expecting more? No, I don't have a problem with faux parts. Comparison. Here is Earthrise Optimus Prime, another Voyager cut, another Voyager, Earthrise Starscream, another Carformer, Kingdom Sideswipe, Titan's Return Hotrod, Power of the Prime's Nemesis Hotrod, Power of the Prime's Rodimus Unicronus, a LEGO minifigure, my previous Transformers video, Studio Series 86 Blur, and Earthrise Optimus Prime. Unscripted transformation time. You want to start by coming to the front here and detaching this piece, then folding these pieces in. Then you want to untab the arms and move them down. I find when going back into vehicle mode, once you're at this stage, you want to close this up first, then do the arms, then reopen it and open these up. It helps just keep everything more in place. You want to come to the back and just unclip the legs, move this panel up, untab these, flip the legs round, flatten out the foot, then fold this in and fold it round this before you completely fold it, and then tab it into place. Next, you want to spin this whole top section around, unclip this section, lift up the head, spin the head around, lift up this section, spin it around, close this tab down, fold this section in, fold this up, spin it around, collapse it up, then finally come down to the hands, open up this panel, spin it around, and then close it round. And here is Hotrod in his robot mode. And wow, he looks great. Again, he's not quite the correct colours, and again, I'm not a child, but the flame on the chest is more accurate than in vehicle mode. And here you can see why he needed faux parts. Even though both parts end up in a very similar place in robot mode, they are pretty different shapes, as well as there being an engine in vehicle mode and this collar in robot mode. Speaking of the body, there is a really unfortunate piece of articulation here. The outwards at the arm. The joint is in the body rather than it being in the arm itself. This causes some really unnatural positions when trying to pose him. Probably the worst part of this figure. For the rest of the articulation, there's a ball joint at the head. Arms can go all the way around, though the spoiler obviously gets in the way. Elbow bend, elbow swivel, wrist swivel, wrist can also go inwards, and opening hands! Waist swivel. Legs can go forward this far and back this far and all the way out. Thigh swivel. Knee bend. There are actually two bends here, but you can get about as far using one as you can using both. Ankle tilt, as well as some toe up and down. Even with the less than desirable arms, Hotrod can still get into lots of good poses. The spoiler adds a lot to his silhouette, making him look really cool. The head looks almost exactly like Hotrod, and you can open it up to flip out this visor, and this looks so sick. Such a neat feature. Another cool feature is that you can open his forearms to replace his right hand with a welding torch that he used to repair carp. Also, Studio Series 86 figures of welding torch hands. And to replace his left hand with this 5mm port. Now, this isn't for weaponizer modulated fossilizer compatibility. No, because that would be consistent. And Studio Series doesn't do consistency with other lines. Instead, it's for this included buzzsaw. And whilst I don't think of buzzsaw when I think of Hotrod, I think this looks really cool. His other accessories are these two guns, which you saw earlier. These are actually two completely different molds. They can go in his hands easily and work with blast effects, which is neat since he comes with some. They're specifically made to work with the exhausts in vehicle mode, and that's pretty epic. They also work in robot mode. Those aren't the only effect pieces he comes with. There's also this, which is made to work with the Matrix that comes with Earthrise Optimus. Showing at the scene where Hotrod becomes Rodimus Prime. But don't worry, you don't need to buy Earthrise Optimus Prime just to do this, because Hotrod comes with a Matrix. The only difference between them seems to be the shade of blue and bronze, with Hotrod's having a darker blue and a more rich bronze. There's also nowhere it can go inside of it, at least not officially. And wow, this does look really good. That's why I display him like this. And of course, since he's a Studio Series figure, he has a display base, which is the aforementioned scene inside Unicron where he becomes a Prime. As you may have noticed, this guy comes with quite a few accessories, but is it enough to make it worth the price? Because as I said at the beginning,
Voyager Hotrod.
this guy's a Voyager, and he's not that much larger than some deluxes. As you saw during the transformation, he is quite complex for the size. And then there's the accessories and gimmicks. I can see some people not thinking he's worth it. I used to be in that group for a while even after I got it. But after some time, I started to see how he was worth it. Maybe it's just the passing of time making me forget about the money I spent on it. At this point, there are plenty of other figures like this, and people are getting less and less annoyed by it. For comparison, here is Earthrise Optimus Prime, another Voyager, Earthrise Starscream, another Carformer, Kingdom Sideswipe, Titan's Return Hot Rod, Power of the Prime's Nemesis Hot Rod, Power of the Prime's Rodimus Unicronus, a LEGO minifigure, my last Transformers video, Studio Series 86 Blur, and Earthrise Optimus Prime. Overall, despite having a few issues, I really like this figure. In fact, it will probably make it to my top 5 figures I got last year. That video will be coming out February 21st. And, I might need that. But that's about it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. My link's in the description. So I guess that's Salut BC out. Next time's a familiar face, but this time with a horn.